All right, so Roland, you heard the comments from one of his surrogates, Tara Wall, who said that at certain times he received thunderous applause. We talked to Shannon Travis, who said he didn't think there was thunderous applause. Did you hear thunderous applause?
I was sitting on the front row. Yeah. There was never thunderous applause, and I think Tara. I know Tara well. I think she was being quite facetious with that particular comment. There was never thunderous applause. Certainly on that line, but also when he talked about education, he got more applause on those two issues than he did on other issues. But no, there was never thunderous applause at any moment during that speech.
All right, so he goes to a fundraiser in Montana after this presentation, and Romney says the following with respect to the boos and the jeers that he got. He said, when I mentioned I'm going to get rid of Obamacare, they weren't happy. That's okay. I want people to know what I stand for. And if I don't stand for what they want, go vote for someone else. Here's the interesting part, Roland. He says, but I hope people understand this. Your friends who like Obamacare, you remind them of this. If they want more stuff from the government, tell them to go vote for the other guy. More free stuff. But don't forget, nothing is really free. It has to be paid for by people in the private sector. Roland, Mitt Romney wants tax cuts across the board. Tax cuts also are not free.
Of course, tax cuts are not free. And frankly, Mitt Romney, you should be ashamed of yourself for that particular comment, because what you also don't want to do, and what I did not hear from him yesterday, let's talk about the research, the R&D dollars in terms of the tax handouts that corporations get, the tax breaks that they get. Let's talk about the oil subsidies. So do you want to call those things free? Fact of the matter is, the Bush tax cuts, whether Mitt Romney wants to admit it or not, played a critical role in also increasing the deficit in this country. Even extending the Bush tax cuts will increase the deficit according to the CBO. And so for Mitt Romney to say to the NAACP that if you invite me next year and I'm president, I'll come back, we can work together. But then when you want to make this comment, oh, they want free stuff. Yeah. Well, guess what, Mitt Romney? Again, there are broke, poor white people in the states that you also are trying to win, and we have to deal with the reality of that they also have bad health care. Not just the NAACP.
Here's one reality that does and may resonate with a number of African Americans. The unemployment rate in the United States. You and I have talked about this for years. There's always been historically a disparity. There are more blacks unemployed in this country than whites always have been. But look at the difference now. 8.2% is the average unemployment in the country. 14.4% for blacks, and Republicans love to push this idea that it got worse under President Obama.
Of course, but the bottom line is we always know that when America catches a cold, black folks catch a pneumonia. And so that's also why I think you have to look at the whole notion of what's happening with education, all of those particular areas. All of that has an impact when you talk about the unemployment rate. What Mitt Romney did not do yesterday, he did not address that critical issue. Black women, one of the fastest growing groups when it comes to small businesses. He made no mention of that. He also did not say what is he going to do when it comes to the housing crisis in this country. 53% of black wealth wiped out. If you start a small business, you're likely going to use a home equity loan. And so Mitt Romney said, this is what I'm going to do. Did he offer any specifics? No, he didn't, other than target federal dollars to each student when it comes to education. And so Mitt Romney has a lot more to do on that. But I will say this to Mitt Romney. You better get your act together and understand that the people you're also trying to get votes from, non-NAACP members in those red states, have some of the worst education schools out there, has some of the worst health care out there, and it'll be interesting to see if he is willing to have an honest conversation and a real plan to deal with that, even among his red state supporters.
All right, Roland, gotta go.